Bwaaa!
Bwaaa trash fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas. The trailer park is nice and dark, deep in the heart of Texas. Dad drinks his brew and he spits his chew, deep in the heart of Texas. The TV blares, but no one cares, deep in the heart of Texas. Here we go!
Hey there, welcome to Bwaaa, King of the Hill Rewatch Podcast. I am Mike.
And I'm Rusty.
Rusty, it is Freaky Friday or whatever.
Yeah.
No, you know what? It is
Bwaaa.
Black Friday.
It is Black Friday.
Black Friday, and I don't think anything's open like it used to be. Remember how Black Friday used to be?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, everything used to be open on a Black Friday. Well, see, what they've done now is again, you know, back in the day, well, how'd that song go? Video killed the radio star.
The
Well,
Buggles.
Amazon killed the big box stores.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's a lot of
That one's not as catchy.
It's not. It's more dystopian. It's way more
It's
dystopian.
very dystopian, that's right.
Well, even the song from the '80s was kind of dystopian.
Oh, it absolutely
It was a
yeah.
dystopian feel, you know, when that song came out.
You know, that was the first one they played on MTV.
Yeah, that was the very
First
first. Yeah,
video.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah, that was the first video.
So when I was a kid,
So there was no concept of like music videos before MTV at all.
Not really.
There was nobody putting out.
People
like,
recorded stuff and they did some
put out
things.
VHS tapes or something with their music on it.
Yeah, a little bit, but that was like a very special thing, right? You know,
Yeah.
MTV made it to where it's all the time.
Well, you know what else is special? The fact that we've been nominated for the Waco Awards.
That was a
Mike.
wonderful transition.
It was.
Good job.
I was waiting.
Yeah.
I was waiting for
That
something.
was
That
seamless,
was great.
man.
It was.
Good job.
So, guys, we've been nominated for Podcast of the Year for the Waco
Podcast of the Year.
Awards, and we'd appreciate if you could go and vote for us. That's WacoAwards.com/voting/podcast-of-the-year. That's the exact URL. You can also go to BWAAAKOTH on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and which one? Oh, Facebook. And you can find the link there too, because I've been posting about it. And we're pretty excited, and we hope to win. We've got a lot of I wouldn't say extremely stiff competition, because I don't think that we're in a league of our own here.
That's it.
In town. I think that we're number one, regardless of what an award says. But it would be nice to win. I think it would help with some local publicity, because I don't think a lot of locals really know that we exist.
So as Rogue Media Network, I've been involved in the Waco Awards for 3 years now.
Yeah, you've been. Yeah,
right?
you've been.
So
been
somebody from our network has been nominated every year.
And won every year, right?
And won every year, yeah.
Haven't you won the Producer of the Year award?
No, I did not.
You
No.
didn't? Oh, okay.
No. I came extremely
Why weren't you on it this
unclose.
year? Did you not?
I don't
You well, somebody should have nominated you.
Yeah, whatever.
I nominated you.
Well, thank you, Rusty. I appreciate that. So, yeah, the first year was Private Hip Hop, won.
Okay.
Second year
Shout out to
was
Script.
Yep. Second year was Public Affair. Shout out to Andrew.
Shout out to Andrew for that. Yeah.
And this year we have 4 podcasts nominated.
So I mean,
4 of
you
them.
know, for you guys, for
Yeah.
the whole network, it's
Yeah.
definitely
Kicks
you know,
ass. It's
good.
great.
It's good to have
We love
have
it.
all that, but it's even better when ours wins. So I feel like you know, King of the Hill, we've got we've done a lot in a short amount of time, and I can't wait to see
I really
where
hope
else this goes.
I really hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving too.
Yeah, I hope you guys had a
It's
had
my
a great
favorite
Thanksgiving.
holiday.
I hope you enjoyed your little secret episode that we dropped for you guys too. The little
That's right.
short little thank you note to you guys.
Yeah, yeah. And I hope the tryptophan is worn off.
Don't smoke the tryptophan out of grandma's light bulbs.
Don't eat the brown tryptophan.
Yeah, don't eat the brown tryptophan.
That's right. Yeah, so I love Thanksgiving because of family and all that stuff, and there's no
It's
really
the food.
well, there's no preconceived notions of you got to give me a
Chocolate mousse
gift.
pie?
You got to do. I don't like that.
You don't like chocolate mousse pie?
No,
what
it's
about
like you're not eating
what about
anything.
cinnamon toast crunch cheesecake?
Oh, Never had that.
Never had it.
That sounds
Yeah.
friggin' wonderful.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
Do you make it with the cereal in it?
I don't make it with anything. I just eat it with all the
Does it have the
gumption of a
cereal in it,
kid.
though?
Yeah, it has the cereal on top.
My God,
it's like a
yeah.
garnish.
Oh.
And then they like instead of getting cinnamon powder, it's like the graham cinnamon. So you like ground up the cereal and use the cereal in the cheesecake.
I'm sorry, pardon me. I have to go change my pants real quick. Yeah, that was
He's got a
really
little,
good. Yeah,
little cheesecake in his pants.
that was really great. All right, so we are on a It Ain't Right Friday, and
it ain't right.
we
that's
have
for sure.
something that really ain't right today. We are going to visit Bill Dauterive is Bobby Hill's real father.
We're going to visit that.
We've
That's
talked about
been-
this a few times.
Yeah, it's been a
right?
conspiracy. And with the episode that we just finished for Monday, I feel like this is very fitting. It fits in with the theme from
True.
where Bill was kind of being weird and
Eating hormone biscuits.
eating
and
hormone
telling
biscuits
Bobby
and
about how he was conceived.
telling Bobby the
Bobble.
story.
Little old bobble.
I would say it would be his preconception story and into the conceiving and conception of Bobby Hill.
Speaking of conception, I want to mention St. Angeli's candles real quick.
Absolutely. Beautiful candles sent to us by St. Angeli's here. These candles are just...
Dominique?
Yeah, Dominique from Dominique Lovings. These candles are just phenomenal. I was really, I wasn't skeptical of the candle because I was like, well, she's got this beautiful website. She's got a well thought out business plan, a business idea. And usually I have a trouble with scents and smells, but there's not a candle that because I smelt them all. I didn't lit them all and smelt them, but I smelt at least every candle that she sent. And they all have scents that I can burn and smell for hours.
Let me tell you what happened.
They're wonderful smells.
I took one of these home and I burned it for Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
And my mother, who is in a wheelchair, had a stroke several years ago. I burned it, and she got this look on her face. It was the most peaceful I've ever seen her. Right, since she had this stroke, she was at peace. She kind of nodded off a little bit, and I can only think that St. Angeli's is the reason that she was able to sleep well that night.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful scent. Again, very tropical. The St. Tropez has a very tropical floral.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, guys, you could go to St.
I started to say that she got up and walked, and I didn't.
Yeah, got
I
up and
pulled
walked.
back from that.
Yeah,
I started.
got up and walked to smell the candle. What brand is that?
she could talk. She walked. She's
Yeah, my grandma loved this smell so much she could smell it from England. She said that was one of the most heavenly scents she's ever smelled.
No, Dominique
But it
makes
is
some
a
great
great
candles, and we love her very much. She was on one of our previous episodes, and
yeah, go check that episode out, and you can find out more about her. She's a phenomenal person.
She's a great creator too.
Yeah, great creator.
Girl creates
wonderful
all kinds of
podcast
stuff,
too.
man.
She's got a great podcast. So you could go to saint-angeles.com/candles, and if you use
What
code KOTH20, you
Get a big old discount.
a little something on there. And again, shout out to Dominique and St. Angeli's.
And I
for
want
these
to
beautiful
clarify:
candles.
these candles do not make the lame walk again. So
They do not. They
just letting you know.
cannot make
Yeah.
the blind see. They will not.
Well, we don't know
cure-
that.
You cannot break
don't know
these
any
candles
blind
up
people.
into 50 candles and feed people. But these candles are very heavenly in scent.
Yeah, they
It's
are.
such
They're
a
great candles.
a crisp, ethereal
Ethereal.
scent.
Ooh, look at you.
The way it lingers through the room. Hey, I could do a
Yeah.
little. Can we get some snaps in
I
here?
love that
a little,
wordplay.
little
Yeah, that's
beat
good stuff.
poetry going here.
All right, so
If I
today,
died while smelling this, I'd be happy.
There you go. Yeah, no, for real.
Thank
It's
you,
just,
Mason.
I don't know.
That's
They're,
great.
they're actually,
we gotta get some blind.
all puns aside, very, very well.
We gotta get some
put
blind
together
folks in here
candles.
and see if they can see again once
We
they
should
smell
do
them.
blind
Yeah.
smell tests with actual blind people.
Okay,
When
so
they lift their armpits up
let
and we
us-
walk through the room smelling blind people.
let's transition to our topic of today.
Okay.
We are on Reddit, Reddit, for those who are uninformed, and we are at.
Yeah, for those of you who are really uninformed, Reddit is a public forum for you name it.
Oh my God, everything's on there.
Everything you don't want to know, everything you didn't know existed. It's great for content like this.
But I will say, Reddit is not 4chan.
No, it is definitely not 4chan. You know, speaking
It
of
can be.
chans,
Yeah.
speaking of chans, there was somebody, I was playing Call of Duty last night, and I got killed by a guy, Oni Chan.
Really?
O-N-I, 2 I's with a dash and then Chan.
Yeah, it means
Yeah.
big brother.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he big brothered me. And
He big brother.
yeah, he beat me.
So we are in a subreddit. So that's r/fan theories.
Fan theories. Not
And-
for the weak or squirmish.
This was started nine. If anybody knows what that reference is, 9 years ago by non-unique username, which is a wonderful username. I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, it's a
for
9-year-old
grabbing
fan
that.
theory. We're deep in the realm of interwebs.
The fan theory is King of the Hill, Bill Dauterive, is Bobby Hill's real father.
Yeah, so as it says, it goes, Peggy couldn't get pregnant because, of course, Hank's narrow urethra, so she slept with Bill on the side and had his son. So it's obvious that
It's obvious.
It's obvious to the entire neighborhood that Bobby is nothing like Hank, which is true.
Yeah.
And they say he's everything like Bill, but I won't agree with that part because I don't think they're anything alike. Whereas Bill is like this self-deprecating, like loathsome, hates everything, hates himself person. Bobby is like full of life and full of like experience.
That's true.
And try to enjoy things that he likes, where Bill just sulks all day. So I won't agree. I don't think their personalities are the same. Just because they're chunky and they like food does not make their
No, it's not the
personalities the same.
But his proof, quote unquote, for this theory is 1, the Hills were told they would never get pregnant. 2,
Okay.
obvious physical likenesses to Bill and dissimilarity to Hank.
A physical likeness, I'll give him that.
3, Bill's reoccurring crush on Peggy.
I'll give him that one. That one's a give.
4, Peggy admits under duress that she slept with Hank and one other man.
The story that follows this particular fan theory guy thinks that it's a lie.
Right.
Which the particular story that he's talking about was, so Peggy, Hank finds out in whatever, I can't remember the name of the episode or what season or anything, but Hank finds out that Peggy had sex with somebody other than him.
Right.
And it turns out that it was a gay friend who wanted to see if he was really gay.
Yeah.
So he had sex with Peggy.
Sure.
And it was like, I am definitely gay. There's no doubt about it. I'm definitely gay.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know. I think that Peggy would actually be able to maybe even a straight man might even change his mind. Like I think that like for a gay guy to go for confirmation to Peggy, like that would definitely confirm any doubts
Now,
he had.
this next piece does have a little bit of weight to it. It says Bill passes on the Dauterive family recipe to Bobby to keep the family tradition alive.
Yeah.
That does happen, and that is suspicious. Because it's just like it says here. It's just like Redcorn does something similar with sending Dale / his son on a spirit quest. So honestly, that is his best piece of that's his best part of the theory there.
Yeah,
as
I
far
think
as
so.
I'm
Yeah.
concerned. And then the last one is lots of father-son type bonding between the two. You can stretch that.
That's a real big stretch because up until now, the episode that we just covered on Monday, can you name another time where Hank or Bobby and Bill are like alone or have any kind of like hangout time or anything like that? That one I think is a stretch. So I think that this fan theory, I'm going to go ahead and say this, Mike. I think that this fan theory is by a Shade Tree fan, somebody who might have it on in the background or just watch it every now and again. I don't think this dude is a diehard. He doesn't have a podcast about King of the Hill. Let's just put it that way. So I really think that his theory is a little sketch.
It is a little sketch, but this sucker goes on for a while. This thing has been out there, and people talk about it a lot. He says that the whole show, they say that the whole show takes on a new light when you consider all of this. Like Hank is helping around the neighbor's house after Con disappears, and Bill says, it's just not fair. Why does he get 2 families? Or Peggy warns against Bobby spending time with Bill. I get all that, but I don't know, man. I like to keep the show pure in my head.
Yeah, I just don't think. Well, it's not even about keeping it pure. It's keeping it true to the characters as they have been presented.
Yeah.
So this guy's probably, he's talking about the show in its entirety. I'm going to talk in context as far as we are in the show. So all the way up till now in season 3, we've seen very little of Bill and Bobby interacting at all. So I don't know. I don't really. This theory is a little iffy for me.
Bwaaa trash fight all through the night. Deep in the heart of Texas.
Well, if you start scrolling down this sucker, you get
some good stuff.
you get some pretty good stuff. There was one that says Bobby looks identical to Bill when he was his age. There's also one that says that maybe Cotton impregnated Peggy, which that's nuts.
a stretch. That's
But-
even further stretch than Bill.
But it does say, and they are right about this, that Good Hank looks just like Bobby.
See, that's the thing is that's why I agree with the fact that, I think that him looking like Good Hank disproves the fact that Bill is his dad.
Yeah.
Because if
So you think
if
it's just
GH
it's the
looks
genes.
like Bobby,
yeah. Then Hank probably
looked like GH, because if you put baby pictures of me and my little brother side by side, of course it's not identical, but you definitely can tell that these two babies are related in some way, shape, or form, kind of thing. So I feel like just because he looks like Good Hank doesn't mean that Cotton impregnated Peggy, and that's really. I think it's really fucked up how long that discussion goes on for.
It's pretty rough.
It is a really long discussion that they go for.
Time, yeah. And so,
really
See
thought
here,
this
and they
out.
even
Yeah,
mentioned
man.
the other
Yeah.
episode. So it goes
Yeah.
right here. It says concerning Hank's narrow urethra in the episode "Pregnant Pause," highlighting the significance of Ladybird to the Hill family. It is explained as a puppy, Ladybird relaxed Hank enough to narrow his urethra, to open his narrow urethra, allowing the couple to conceive. So it kind of disproves his theory when they've explained that Hank is tense. The only reason why Hank's urethra doesn't function as a normal human being's does is because he represses everything and he's extremely tense as an individual. So his tenseness can be relaxed and allow him to procreate. And in
This
doing
is-
so,
this makes me nuts
Bobby.
because it gets down to the point where they're like talking about Bill's weight and how he was gung-ho in flashbacks, but now he's just kind of...
there's another weird fan theory too that is presented here
Yeah.
in this. It says, what if Cotton is Bill's father?
Well, it does say there's one that says he's Bill and Boomhauer's father, which is just friggin' crazy.
To be the whole neighborhood's dad?
Yeah, that's just nuts, man.
Yeah,
Come
I
on.
won't go. I won't. Yeah, that's a little. That one's stretching it.
Well, all of it's stretching it, I believe.
Yeah, definitely.
So-
If it was stretched, it wouldn't be maybe so narrow.
So there's a thing here. If you go down the thread where it says second twist, Hank isn't Cotton's real son. That's why he doesn't love him.
Nah, Connor's just an
I don't
asshole.
know. I think Con's just an asshole.
That's true.
I think he's
Yeah,
just an
yeah.
asshole. Yeah, I don't really like that theory either. I think he's just literally just. I mean, he is. He's an asshole.
I mean,
He's a
Junichiro
jackass.
literally disproves this.
Yeah, Junichiro. Yeah.
Yeah. It says he has a son in Japan because he was deployed in Japan. The only times we know of him leaving Texas were going to Japan during World War II and going to New York in an attempt to assassinate Fidel Castro. He's not been shown to travel for his own sake, and I just don't see what Louisiana would have for him, because they do mention, like, oh, well, that proves why Bill is so different from all of the family in Louisiana and all of that.
Yeah, they say that because they say he's more like Cotton than he is his own family. Like, especially, when he was all like the episodes where you see Bill all gung ho and swole up and everything, and actually lean and fit. He is reminiscent of Cotton before Cotton lost his shins. Whenever you see Cotton all 6 foot tall and fit and everything, athletic.
Yeah, and also Bill mentions, his father making him wear dresses, pretty dresses.
Well,
and
and
all
also
that
you
stuff.
got to look at Cotton, how Cotton treats Bill compared to everybody else too. There's nuances in their relationship because he is a military veteran,
yeah.
so he treats Bill differently than he kind of treats everybody else because he's an Army guy.
So you go on down, and there's one person who says there's an episode where Bill tells Hank that he slept with Peggy, and Hank doesn't believe it. Do either of you remember that?
I do. That's I think I want to say season 12. It's way later.
Really?
Where they jump off a sailboat.
They go on
and
that
forget-
fishing trip.
No,
Yep.
it's not. Yeah, a fish trip looking for treasure. They
Yeah.
jump off forgetting to undo the ladder, and they all think they're gonna die. And Bill goes, "I have one final confession.
Mm.
In a time of weakness, I slept with Peggy." And Hank just goes, "No, you didn't, Bill."
Yeah, because it says Bill admits that he made it up. He hangs his head low and says he knows whenever Hank calls him out on it.
That trumps that one a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. It's just so weird, though.
See, that's another episode that I didn't remember either, too, when Bill and Bobby make the damn barbecue sauce.
That's true.
Yeah, I forgot about that episode.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like I said, again, I was only speaking from the context of the point up to where we're at in the show. Up to where we're at, and you could say 2 seasons is a good chunk of the show, and we're only on fourth episode, 3rd season, and this is the first solo interaction you get from Bill and Bobby.
Sure.
So up to this far, I think the theory is pretty shit. And if you go back and you continue to watch the show, I think the theory is shit still. Yeah. That's one of the theories I didn't really like. Like all of the theories about Peggy being, an asshole. And
well, that's not even really a theory.
That's not even really a theory.
She's just an asshole.
Yeah, that's a character flaw.
Yeah. Yeah. If you go pretty far down here, there's a user named Ballstickles. Who says, while I do enjoy the theory, there are several reasons why I believe it's not true.
Okay, I like this.
And so we're back at the original theory.
Yeah.
Number one, as was pointed out before by many other users, Bobby shows many similarities between younger Hank and GH. Hank didn't look like he does now when he was Bobby's age, even after puberty. He says, watch the episode where all of the men get lice. The only thing that makes Hank
Hank looks, he looks funny when he's bald. Yeah.
Says the only thing that makes Hank even remotely recognizable to what he looks like currently is his voice, and they're very right about that. Because
Isn't that
he did
the
look
episode where you find where they find the tattoo, where it says Bill? That's the episode where they find the tattoo that says Bill because he has to get his head shaved because of the lice, and it says Bill on the tattoo on his head. I think.
Yeah, and it was before Bill. I think went to basic. I think.
Yeah, it was right before Bill went to basic. It was before Bill became Bill.
I think it was cool.
It was when he was still William. It was when he still went by William.
Second part of this says, secondly, Bill was married to Lenore at the time of Bobby's conception. And as we know from previous experiences between Bill and Lenore, there was almost absolutely no way Bill would have cheated on Lenore. He was basically her slave up until the divorce, and even afterwards, he's still able to easily control him, shown in Hank and the Great Glass Elevator.
And then
so they're very right about that.
Yeah,
I don't think Lenore.
Yeah, nah, definitely not. And then at the very last
and
one,
Bill can't keep a damn secret to save his life.
He couldn't keep a secret. No.
And then finally, they say in the episode "Pregnant Pause," which is the one we just did.
The one we just did. Yeah.
They basically show the moment of Bobby's conception. Well, they do not confirm that this is the moment that Bobby is conceived. The fact that Hank says that after getting a puppy, his urethra was able to widen due to less stress would have been entirely plausible, and I'm guessing he would have shown some other symptoms to confirm his self-diagnosis, like not taking 30 minutes to produce a urine sample. So they say, all in all, they would say that this theory has some backing. If you really look into the facts, you'll see that it just doesn't make any sense that Bill is Bobby's father.
Yeah, no, yeah. I don't see it. Yeah, I mean, you could see this, like I said, just because he's fat and likes food, and sometimes he's a little behind.
Well, the other thing that gets mentioned a little further, I'm sorry, Mason, go ahead.
It's also not even that Bill likes food. Bill just drinks a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Bill drinks a lot too.
You're right about that. But there's also this. If you go down a little further, the riff says. Peggy was too naive to realize what was going on with Nancy and John Redcorn. Even if she were dumb enough to not realize, if she had gone through something similar, I think the whole episode would have played out completely differently. And I think they're absolutely right about that. She couldn't have kept the secret, I don't believe. I mean, she ends up telling Hank everything. Even the fact that she slept with somebody else.
Yeah, plus, I mean, she finds Bill disgusting now.
Right.
I don't know what he was like when he was with Lenore, but it can't have been much better.
Yeah. I can't believe that with all of the stuff they go through in this series that Peggy wouldn't blurt that out at some point, or Bill, also.
Yeah, I agree.
I just think it would have come out.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess we solved that. It's not true.
No, it's definitely not true. That was welcome to this episode of King of the Hill Mythbusters. And that myth has been busted.
All right, I don't know anything about Star Trek, but at the bottom it says more inclined to believe Wesley Crusher is Captain Picard's son.
Wesley Crusher was Will Wheaton.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Will
Next
Wheaton.
You know,
Generation.
I met Will Wheaton one time.
Was he an
You did?
asshole?
I met him in Vegas. Yeah, I was there trying to sell my card games, and Will Wheaton was hosting the thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
he was
I
nice.
like him.
Very nice
I
guy.
like when he reads audiobooks.
What does he read?
He did both Ready Player One.
Mm.
He did that. He also did I believe.
Oh,
he
I
also
do
did
remember that,
the,
'cause I listened to
Kaiju
that.
Preservationist Society. So
Yeah.
he does a lot of.
And by the
stuff.
way, Ready Player One, the book is so much better than the movie. Come at me.
That's not a discussion for here, but I have to disagree with you on that.
Really?
I mean, both stories have problems. I just
Yeah.
think the movie has better pacing.
It's just Willy
Sometimes
Wonka,
it's
dude.
too fast, but I don't know. I also think some of the characters are better than they are in the book. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I will say this.
I like how
both
you
are-
preface it, though, by saying this is not a discussion for here.
But both are much better than Ready Player 2, the book. That book
Oh, see, I have not read that.
You know
Don't
what?
waste your time.
Talking about books
Really?
and movies
Wow.
and like the movie being better than the book,
Yeah.
Forrest Gump by Winston Groom.
I know he goes into space, doesn't he? I've heard
He goes to space, and then after space, they crash land on an island, and he's got a chimpanzee named Lucy. Not Lucy. What's her name? In the movie, damn. What's his love interest? Jenny.
Jenny.
He's got a chimpanzee named Jenny
Jenny.
in the spacecraft with him. They crash land on a island in the Pacific that's inhabited by cannibals. One of the cannibals happened to go to college
Does he eat the monkey?
in the United States, so he could communicate in English with. No, I don't think they eat the monkey.
With Forrest.
And he can communicate with Forrest, and he tells Forrest, "Hey, we're all cannibals. You know, I went to this college, and it's really, really like."
Oh, shoot.
So they added that
Not-
on top of everything else that happens in that story.
Yeah, there's more than that. There's a few other scenes that aren't in the movie that are a little wacky, like some wacky stuff. It's a really weird book. You should check it out. It's definitely
I want to.
it's
but
definitely a the movie is better in the sense that it had more continuity, it was more fluid, it wasn't weird.
It's a great
Had Tom
movie.
Hanks.
But the book,
It's a great movie.
it's a wonderful movie. One of my top fives. But yeah, Robert Zemeckis is a god. That
Robert
movie
Zemeckis is a god. You're absolutely right about that.
Amazing
Yeah.
film.
Yeah.
The Laserdisc of it is the best. I think that's the best way to watch it. Is on
Laserdisc.
Laserdisc.
Really?
That's one of the. I only have like a handful
You
of
got to flip it
Laserdiscs.
about halfway through?
No, I don't. My Laserdisc player
Oh,
has
it plays both
the
sides.
laser beam that does that. It's on the track and it just.
You
Watch
still have
out.
a Laserdisc player?
He's got
not
all the
only
old
do I
shit.
have
Yeah.
a Laserdisc player, I only recently got it in like a year or two
Oh,
ago.
yeah, that's right. I remember when you got it.
Yeah, I just recently got it around the time me and Mike started doing this.
Hey, I'm going
at
to
the end of the
kill
year.
this whole theory. You go down to the very bottom. 117 days ago, somebody named Nex, NEXX111, said there is a flashback of Bobby's sperm swimming down Hank's narrow urethra.
That
I don't remember that episode.
I don't either.
I can believe it happening.
I
but
can
I'll
too.
believe it,
Yeah.
whether it happened or didn't happen.
If that
it
happens,
happened.
then that kills this whole thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
dead
that
on
is
arrival.
absolute proof.
One day we need to do the theory on, at least I heard this theory, that that Dale knew about the John Redcord and Nancy thing the whole time.
Really?
Yeah, that's a theory out there, and I kind of buy it.
Huh.
Sometimes
All
I
right.
don't. But
Well, that's a Friday for us.
that's
Yeah,
a Friday.
an
If we
upcoming
don't get
Friday,
a cool
yeah.
guest.
If we don't get a cool guest.
I have
All
some in the
right.
works. I have some guests in the works. The holidays is really kind of going to put a damper on that because I don't want to really schedule anybody and something come up with me and Mike or something and not be able to have them down, pin them down. But
Happy
yeah.
holidays.
happy holidays, guys. And
All right. Well, thank you for
appreciate
joining
it.
us on this Black Friday. We appreciate all of you. Where can they find us, Rusty?
you can find us at roguemedianetwork.com. Also, you can find us at BWAAAKOTH on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't forget to vote for us for the Waco Awards.
Vote for
We
us and
appreciate
then
it.
go to St. Angeli's Candles and buy a candle.
Yeah, go get a candle.
KOTH 20.
KOTH20 is
There you go.
the creator code for that for us.
Fantastic. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see you next time, guys.
Wimatanye.
Wimatanya. Bah.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast. Frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Hey, I'm Zach,
And I'm Mike.
and we have a fantastic new podcast to tell you about. Bros, Foes, and Heroes. It's the two of us looking into the world of comics, breaking down some characters that you may have never heard of, and some that are just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, so Zach comes up with a character each time, and I go into it just completely blind. I don't know who this person is or what their abilities are or anything, and basically I guess we kind of go over their origin story and just some of the ridiculous stuff that maybe, especially Golden Age stuff.
Oh, Golden Age stuff is always the best, and we will make sure to highlight all of the shenanigans and just absolute weirdness of everything.
Yeah, that's right. So subscribe today and follow us on Instagram at Bros, Foes, Heroes.
And if you don't, I know where you live. Not really, but please subscribe.
Frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Welcome to One Star Rewind, a new podcast about those dreaded one-star reviews that every business owner hates to receive, but yet every customer loves to read. During this podcast, we will peel back that one-star review to better understand how it happened, when it happened, and what the business owner is doing after receiving that one-star review. This podcast will be about love, hate, and laughter. On One Star Rewind, we will meet with real business owners who will tell their stories and how they do rely on reviews for their business. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or download us at roguemedianetwork.com. Please subscribe, but only rate and review for not a one-star review. Join us each time for a new review and a new story.